Suddenly, after switching on the camera, something shifted in me. I'm very good at expressing myself through music, and there is this one lyric that says, I don't want the world to see me because I don't think they'd understand. And I guess that is what's happening to me right now. And the reason I'm still recording this video is because earlier, before switching on the camera, my body was screaming. It was screaming so loud. The pain was so loud that I wasn't able to function properly. Sometimes it gets hard to even breathe properly. And it happens now when you are experiencing chronic stress from a long period of time. Your body just decides to scream one day and say that no, I can't stay stuck here forever. I can't stay the same forever. And that's the reason I'm doing this, even though I think it doesn't matter anymore. Early childhood I learned that my pain does not matter. I was made to feel unheard, unseen. And that is the reason when I'm finally here to say what I've been feeling, what I've experienced, the nihilist in me is screaming, Soumya, stop it. The world is not going to understand it anyway. Like it has always happened with me. Always. Again, there is this voice in my head that's saying, you can't even blame people for not being able to understand you, because it's not even their mistake. If they have not gone through what you have gone through, they can't. And I'm somebody who believes that we all see life through our own lenses of perspectives, right? So I'm somebody who agrees with everybody. Not saying that I do not stand for my own ground, I do. But it's like I've become so understanding that I just know where people are coming from. Even if somebody say to me, Soumya, that doesn't even matter, how stupid, I would agree, because if you really understand this practical world, you realize that it actually does not matter. But again, if you think in a spiritual way, it does matter. But if you think in a psychological way, it matters to a great extent, because chronic stress wears and tears your body. And so I don't care how am I sounding right now, how ugly I think I'm looking right now. I just know one thing, that I need to get it all off my head, because my body can't take it anymore. Because it gets so loud sometimes, it feels like I'm being exercised. I can't even look into the camera, because again I resonate with a Taylor Swift lyric that says, I look directly at the sun but never in the mirror. Suppressing my feelings for a long period of time has led to a lot of memory loss. I can't even properly form sentences. You can see I'm stuttering. My nervous system has suddenly shut down, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I've always struggled with this feeling that there is something that's wrong with me. There is something that just doesn't fit right with me, right in my brain. I've always had this weird kind of fear around existing. I remember I used to feel this strange fear that something might happen to me. I'm unsafe. Even though I was thriving in public eye. Okay. I was a bright kid. But right now I want to talk about the major setback that took place in my life in lockdown. 3 to 4 years back. 4 years back from now. When I was all alone to myself. I had no friends left with me. I'm a very self-reflective person. And I love to analyze each and everything about myself. I've been doing this since childhood. So when I was all alone to myself, I did that. And that's when I realized that the kind of anxiety, that those phases of I don't know who I am anymore, those phases where you don't know who you are, you suddenly have no idea what you're doing with your life, and there is no vision, a future, it's all blank and you're just existing like a dead body. Those phases have always existed for me. I started dissociating at that time. That thing is a little bit in control. Now I started doing yoga because I didn't want to lose myself. I am the only woman in my family who has gotten this much privilege to go all out in the world and create a life of my own. So I want to respect that privilege and I can't let it go all in vain. So I was like, Soumya, no, I can't lose my mind because the state of my mind got that scary. I do meditation, I do Brahmari yoga. Yoga has saved me and I must recommend it to anybody who is suffering from especially Brahmari yoga. If somebody feels a weird kind of fear that they don't understand, they are like, I'm in danger just for simply existing, they should do Brahmari yoga. It will really help. It did help me a lot. Okay. See, that's the reason I asked my father to take me to a therapist, but he took me to a psychiatrist. Actually, I do not like psychiatrists because, no disrespect, I respect that profession. This is my personal opinion. They just ask you questions and then prescribe you medicines. But therapists, they are trained to help you. What comes to anybody's mind when you hear obsession? OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. See, I'm no therapist, I'm no psychologist, I'm not self-diagnosing. This is how my psychiatrist told me that when during childhood you had gone through traumatic experiences, you actually develop these in your early teens, late teens. And he even asked me if something happened, and I wasn't very comfortable with him. He was a male, okay, and I wanted a female therapist. I wanted a woman to talk to me. Obsessive compulsive disorder. Obsession. When your brain cannot stop thinking about one particular thing, even if the thought is unpleasant, it won't just go away. It feels like, I'll tell you how it feels like. It feels like somebody has hammered a nail in your head and it scares the hell out of you. You see, a lot of people relate OCD with cleanliness. No, if you enjoy hygiene, being clean, then you are not suffering from OCD. These kind of conditions wear and tear your body. The thoughts got so loud that that anxiety got so loud that I used to start wishing to God that end this, either kill me or end this. It gets so loud, I feel like somebody is knitting through my body, somebody is traversing a needle inside my body. The pain gets that loud. I know it's not just OCD, but it started from there, because I have had other things too. Now, compulsion, when you cannot stop yourself from doing a particular thing again and again. You will repeat same behavior again and again because that anxiety will be so loud, the pain here will be so loud that you will be compelled to do it. You won't be able to stop yourself from doing it. For example, if I'm sitting here and there's my bed, I'm sitting on my bed, and there are flowers on my bed, and if my brain decides to get stuck on it, my brain suddenly decide that flower, and now I know that I'm not getting anything from touching it again and again, but my brain is saying to me, so I'm gonna touch that flower, touch. And it seems weird the way I'm acting right now, but it happens in my head. It happens, and it's really necessary for me to talk about my experience, because there are people who suffer from this and they are not able to talk about it. I have felt unheard my whole life, and I know I'm a human just like every other human on this world, in this world, and I deserve to be heard. Yes, your brain gets stuck and you just cannot help yourself out of the situation. You just cannot. One point that I want to make right now is that not everybody comes out and talk about their experiences the way I've done, because they feel it's embarrassing, and if they'll talk about their experiences, people will make fun of them, because some of the experiences are actually weird. And how do people like me even put them into proper sentences that they'll finally make sense to you all? So now that I'm editing the video, the same is happening to me. It feels embarrassing. The voices are saying to me that, Soumya, why did you even record the video? And our bodies resist change. So now that I've done something for me to finally being seen, it's getting hard, but I'm not letting the embarrassment stop me anymore. I can give you a lot of examples. A few examples I wouldn't even want to talk about them because they make me uncomfortable, but there are a few examples. Like the thing used to happen to me. If my mother touched me, she said, Soumya, she called me, and I'm like, what? She touched me. Nothing's wrong with her hand, nothing wrong with my body, my clothes, nothing is dirty, but I'm like, something alienated touched me. Something wrong happened to me right now. There's something wrong that happened to me. And now I'm wetting my hands again and again. I'm wiping it off. I'm wetting my hands. I'm wiping it off. I'm wiping. And then I'm washing my hands again and again. Washing my hands with detergents. and now it feels funny because what in the world I was. There are other examples that I would like to give. Yep, I used to open my Instagram. I stopped using my main ID because what used to happen to me, I logged in my ID, okay, and I started having this weird kind of anxiety in my chest. Earlier it used to happen only in my chest. Now that anxiety, I don't know if it's only anxiety. I don't know if anxiety is the right name for it, but I call them weird sensations. Those sensations are now spreading all over my body. Burning sensations in my head. Like, you are telling me that I'm sitting somewhere randomly and my brain has started burning. The last month, that 1 week in December was so tough for me. It was so tough for me. For 1 whole week I was having these burning sensations in my head, and I lost a lot of my memory because of it. Our body stores trauma, and I know there are a lot of people who have suffered more than me. I know I'm not even trying to I'll make myself look like, oh, I've suffered so much. No, the nihilist in me thinks that it does not matter, Soumya. Nothing matters. Okay, I believe in existential nihilism the most. But again, to fight that fear of being seen, I need to talk about these feelings. In 2026, we are going all out. We are not hiding ourselves anymore. Giving the example, I used to open Instagram, and I used to have the that feeling in chest of I couldn't even breathe properly. I'm statue like this, and I'm staring at my Instagram ID like this. and I'm like, I did something wrong, I did something wrong, there's something that wrong happened. I messaged somebody something. What if I had written all the bad things to somebody? I have texted somebody something very scary and something very out of the blue, something inappropriate. I'm like, I'll tell you, search. This is, even now I do this. I know it sounds weird. I know I might look like, you can laugh at me, it's okay, you can laugh at me. I'm myself laughing, it's okay, but I just need to tell that yes, these are my real experiences of OCD, because I'm tired of people invalidating it. I'm tired of people just throwing this word around, words like OCD, depression, and it's just that they enjoy cleanliness. You know, I have a little bit OCD. Do not throw this around. See, I respect your discomfort. Of course, if you say to me that Soumya, don't don't do this is making me uncomfortable, I will respect it and I will listen to it and I won't do that again. But let's be a little bit more careful when it comes to using these words, right? And I'm also saying that I'm not claiming anything. I'm not saying that this is what only happens during OCD. This is my experience, okay? I have been to psychiatrist and this is just my experience. Somebody else's experience might differ from mine. So again, you can see how much I hate structures. I'm pacing back and forth from one topic to another. So I used to open Instagram. It even happened now. Search, send, search, send, search, send, search, send. I'm clicking it. Yes, it used to happen. I'm clicking. I'm making my own fun. I'm clicking those two options again and again, again and again, again and again. And I'm in my living room. I'm standing doing this. My father is like, Soumya, Soumya, Soumya. I'm like, and suddenly I threw that phone around. I'm like, yes, yes. And then that thought, I did something wrong, I did something wrong. And my father is like, father used to not understand. My mother used to lash out at me, and I wouldn't blame her for it, because, and you know, when you are in your teens, you are in those mood where you fight with your parents, and I have no shame to accept that. Yes, I never had a very great relationship with my parents, though it's getting better. I'm not ashamed, because even Halsey, I love Halsey. She has talked about her issues, and she has talked about how her relationship with her parents was toxic, but now that she is all settled and everything, she has a great bond with her parents, and I wish the same for me. So it's okay. So I wouldn't even want to go there. The amount of fights I have had with my parents throughout these years, because they didn't used to understand me. I was lucky that there was a higher version of me who could see, out of all the voices in my head, there was one voice that was coming out of my chest, that Soumya, you cannot lose your mind. You know, I talked about it earlier. I cannot let my privilege be destroyed, be damaged. I am the woman of my family, first woman in my family who has gotten so much privilege to do so many great things and create a great life of my own. So I can't let myself go into a mental asylum. I can't lose my brain, because at one point it felt like I will lose it. I'll go crazy. I was like, something is happening to me. I've seen 3 years, almost 3 years of my life shrink into 3 months. And it's a big deal to me. You know, I used to be so scared all the time. You know, I was continuously scanning the environment for danger, and it leads to scarcity mindset too, in this fear that something might go wrong with me. You know, it decides everything. The reason it's very important for me to talk about it, because it decides everything. Your body posture, your way of talking, the way you look at people, the way you talk to people, it decides each and everything. And it's high time that people realize that mental trauma has real physical consequences. If I saw a dustbin on the road, I cannot walk within the 1 kilometer range of that dustbin. My brain used to lie to me. Of course, eyes can't speak. It was my brain only. But I'm seeing something, and my brain is saying, "No, Soumya, it didn't happen." I'm like, "Yes, it happened." Then I'm like, "No, it didn't happen." My brain is saying, "Yes, it happened." That conflict in your head. Imagine there are voices in your head that are continuously fighting to each other. How scary that is. I remember I was so frustrated, so scared. I was crying that day. I suddenly googled it, saying, why is it happening to me that I know that I saw something not happening, but my brain is saying that it did happen. Then it gave me some Google. It gave me some mental health care line numbers and all, but it then scrolled and I asked even more weird questions, and it said false information. I'm walking by a wall and I'm constantly checking, scanning. Am I close touching the wall? Am I close touching the wall? Thought that question is popping up in my head again and again, again and again. And then when I passed right by that wall, and then my eyes saw that the cloth didn't touch the wall. My brain is saying it touched, it touched, it touched, and that repetition was so loud it used to physically ache me. What I could have been? That this question always haunts me. I didn't study at all. One thing I didn't talk about, I used to be scared to touch my books. I don't know what mental condition is that, but I was scared to touch my books. There were a lot of things, but that was the major setback I'm talking about that happened after 10th class. And I stopped touching my books. I used to be scared. I used to think that I will die or something. I don't know what consequences I was counting up to. All I just know, it was scary. And the whole point of creating this video is to learn to exist without fear again. So when it comes to confidence, I know I might have sounded weird, underconfident, but I'm somebody who can't fake confidence. This is the point that I want to make. I'm somebody who cannot fake it till she makes it, because to me that's very ableist. I know I might be wrong, I can be wrong, it's okay if I'm wrong, but that's what I think, at least. You know, your mental issues have real physical consequences. I had said this hundreds of times by now in this video. And you cannot scream self-love to the people who need community care, because there are experiences, they have gone through years of experiences that have shaped them into the human they are today. So tired of people trying to tell me that just get over it. If I could have just get over it, don't you think I would have done that by now? Who wants to stay in the misery forever? Tell me. Nobody wants to hurt themselves. Nobody wants to have burning sensations. Nobody wants to have that feeling like as if somebody has put a dagger through your body. Nobody wants to feel that way. And I was sitting, and my friend and I was having a lot of pain all over my body. How do I tell you the kind of pain that happens? Is like, God, kill me. I'm agnostic, but I start praying, God, kill me. Just end this pain. Just kill this. And I hate how I'm acting right now. I look so stupid. It's okay. I appreciate their effort to understand it. So even my friend understands. So that's the point I want to make. Even the people who understand, they are like, yeah, but you have to get out of it. How do you assume that I'm not trying to get out of it? From where that assumption is coming? I have been very ambitious since childhood, and depression took that away from me. My depression took away my dreams, took away everything from me. It took away my identity of a student. It it just killed me. It just killed a lot of versions of me that I loved, and all it gave me was self-hatred. One thing I know, that nobody likes insecure people. Nobody likes people like me who hate themselves, and there is no place for people like me in a society, who are not confident, who are messy, who are confused. And I am a confused person. It's okay, I am a confused person, and I have no shame in it. Earlier I used to hate myself so much for being confused, but I guess if you really understand life, you will be confused. I'm done hiding myself. I'm done. I wish I do not remember to say something else after switching off the video, and if I did, I'll talk about it in some other video. Thank you for being with me.